Here it is the Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pickdawgz.com. Please click the like and subscribe button. That helps us out. And if you click the notification button, it'll let you know anytime one of these gets posted. If you're interested in the inner circle, it's the concrete inner circle. You can text the words inner circle to that number that you see there, and you can find out more about it. It's a rated system. Been killing it on there. Actually, I should say we had some lighter days the past 2 days, and I had a loss yesterday. Full disclosure, because I was big on the under in the baseball game on Wednesday. And obviously that got blown up as Toronto they took George Kirby out behind the old woodshed and turned his back porch red. They just spanked that boy. So that was ugly. But I did hit on the football game as we had the over in the Jacksonville State game. And as I said on yesterday's pod, I thought Jacksonville State was the right side. I liked them and the over, and they both hit. But feel good about where we're at. I had a couple of losses by the hook, and some of these games I didn't even realize just how bad some of the losses were. Like when I talked about the Yamamoto strikeout, that he went 9 innings and he struck out the last batter in the game. I had him under 6.5 Ks. The last batter in a complete game in the postseason was his 7th strikeout. So baseball props have been interesting in the playoffs, because it gets much more difficult to try to figure out. You usually have good pitching matchups, and even when you don't, you've got bullpen games, which means they're going to bring in live arms all the time. I did not set up to talk about either baseball game for today. If there's something with the Dodgers weather, I'll post it in the morning, as the other 3 teams are all dome teams when they're playing at home. So obviously there's no weather impact there. But when it comes down to it, I did want to talk about the baseball games. We don't have the pitching matchups. The only thing that I'm certain of is that Shohei Ohtani is starting game 4 for the Dodgers. That's win or lose. I think some of these other teams are going to make wholesale decisions. If they go down, let's say the Blue Jays go down 3-1, which I think happens. One of my big plays was Seattle on Thursday. I liked Seattle. I liked the Bengals. I loved East Carolina. I had a couple of prop plays that I really liked, but those really stood out to me. I was on the Dodgers under. So it's kind of what I looked at on Thursday. I really like the Bengals, so we'll see how it goes. But we have a bunch of college football games to talk about today. 4 of them, 4 tonight. So I'm going to talk about all 4 and tell you where I'm standing. I'll even give you my favorite play for free on here. That'll be my freemium play when we talk about it. So appreciate you guys watching this. I try to do that from time to time. I think I've done it a ton this week. It's just give out some of the plays that I like instead of circling around it and trying to talk about everything I don't like. I don't want to be the guy that comes on here and I'm talking about games that I don't like all the time, and then it's like, this guy didn't know what the hell he's talking about. Hell, I might be talking about games that I do like, and you might say that, but I definitely don't want you saying it about games that I'm not even betting. So I try to at least give you a heads up if it's a game I'm on. And to the people out there that might say, well, why are you talking about the game if you're not on it? Sometimes that's all we have to talk about. 2 baseball games, 4 college football games. There's some NHL, but you guys really don't want me breaking down the NHL. And I did have some people ask about the glasses that I got. I do really like them. I still got to say, I prefer my readers when I'm up close. But these are perfect, especially for work. It's Nooz, Nooz. And I did the 2.5. If you're the one thing you got to figure out is what the sightline thing that you want. And I did 2.5 on there. So if you go on their site and you look at it, you guys can check it out. And if you buy 2 pairs of glasses, you get a discount. So I did that because I know I'm going to break these at some point, because I'm just goofy like that and drop shit all the time. So, I also like the Seattle-Ottawa under in the NHL. And prop plays that I was on: T. Higgins under 4.5 receptions, Kenneth Gainwell over his rushing attempts, Flacco under completions. I like Glasnow under his K prop, and I like Scherzer over his. Glasnow was 6.5, Scherzer 3.5. Scherzer hasn't pitched since September 24th, I think, was the date. So anyway, let's get into the games here and some interesting matchups. We're going to start off with Louisville at Miami. Miami is a 13.5 point favorite. Total is 51. Louisville is 4-1. Miami 5-0. And I think when you look at it, we know, or at least we think we know about Miami. They beat Florida State, Florida, South Florida, Notre Dame. Those are all 4 teams that were ranked at some point this year or currently ranked. And they beat all 4 of them. And they look amazing. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to look at Louisville being 4-1. And Louisville they beat Pitt, Bowling Green, JMU, and Eastern Kentucky, and their loss was to Virginia. And I remember that game because we were on Louisville, and they blew it and went to overtime. So this team, I think Louisville's better at home, but also I just think Miami is so much more talented than this team that they're just going to dog walk them. They're favored by 13.5, and I think some people might have sticker shock looking at Louisville and their record and how they played and go, oh my God, I think this is a total mismatch. Give me Miami. And I'm probably, full disclosure, I'm probably going to be on Miami as one of my plays on Friday. So I just think it's a good spot for them, and with limited amount of games, it's probably going to show up on my card. Let's move on to North Carolina at California. Cal is minus 10, 47.5 is the total there. And I mean, UNC, if you go and look at it, has been horrendous on offense. Just, I mean, awful. And then you'll go and look at some of the games. Well, they scored 34 here, and they did. Look at who they were playing. Anytime they played a good team, everybody was just walking up and down the field on Clemson, and they play them, and they can only score, what, 7 points? Come on, man. This UNC team, that they're going to hell in a handbasket real quick. And I can't bet on Cal being a double-digit favorite. I just can't. I mean, Cal this year, they beat Boston College and Minnesota. They lost to Duke and San Diego State. I don't think there's any harm in it. I think Duke's a good team. I think San Diego State's decent. So no harm, no foul there. But when it comes down to it, UNC, they've lost to Clemson, UCF, and TCU. It's all the good teams they play. When they play good teams, they lose, and they don't score. My lean here is going to be on the under in the Cal UNC game. I mean, UNC's just been so dreadful in offense. I think it goes under the 47.5 points that we have posted. Let's go to Nebraska at Minnesota. Nebraska is an 8-point favorite on the road, 47.5, 47.5. I don't know why I'm doing point here. I'm just reading. But Nebraska's they just play close games all the time. But I think they're so much better than Minnesota. They're finally ranked. This is back-to-back road games for them as they just went to Maryland and found a way to win that. Maryland's been in the both games they blew in the fourth quarter, but Nebraska kind of handled business there. But when you look at Nebraska, they beat Maryland and Michigan State. Their lone loss was to Michigan, where Michigan came in and their running back just ran all over them. Minnesota, they beat Purdue and Rutgers. So the two bad teams they face, they beat Cal. We talked about that already. They lost to Cal when they went all the way out there, and they lost to Ohio State, where Ohio State just ground and pounded them. That was a blowout. So I don't know that I'm going to be on this game. I thought all the money's coming in on Minnesota as everybody's looking at what I looked at, that Nebraska just tends to play close games, and how are they favored by 8 on the road against anyone? As I said, they snuck into the top 25. That doesn't mean much to me, but maybe it means something to people out there. I would probably take Nebraska, push comes to shove, if you're going to force me to bet this game, just because I think they're better than Minnesota. And the fact that they're coming in over a touchdown leads me to believe that they're begging you to take Minnesota here plus the points. Don't love it, but my lean in this game would be to Nebraska minus the 8. Maybe a look at the under there. But we've seen this too. Nebraska's offense, if it can get clicking, Raiola can, look, as much as I make fun of that guy for saying he's not trying to look like Patrick Mahomes or do anything like him, and he does everything like him, I don't think he's a bad college quarterback. I don't know if it's going to equate to the NFL, but I would take Nebraska minus the 8. We'll get to this last game in a second. I do want to tell people a few things over at Pickdawgz.com. I've been talking about it. We have the 3-day pass, I think, is your best option if you're going to buy. That way you get all the football plays for the weekend. And it's not just the football plays. It includes any baseball, hockey, whatever that guys are going to throw out. If you buy the 3-day pass, you get everything. I've seen some people buy for the week. Hey, buy for the month or the season package. If you feel like you're with somebody that you trust and you would like to buy their picks every week, it'll save you money on the back end. But I do think the 3-day pass is your best bet no matter who you're buying from. And I don't know if people have an issue with me talking about it. I just think it's the best buy for your money. $79.99, and you'll get all the football plays. So if you do it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, however you want to, it works out. My advice was do the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then if you're interested in buying Monday Night Football, go buy that. Maybe it'll be a little bit different when the NBA and NCAA basketball is back, and then you figure out which route you want to go. But if you're just a football bettor, I think that's your best bet. Last game here, it's my favorite play on Friday. The baseball game's excluded because I don't know the lines on it. San Jose State at Utah State. Utah State's favored by 3. The total is 63.5. Please, please, please do not get sticker shock here. Let me give you what these teams have scored. San Jose State, this is in their wins and losses. 28, 35, 29, 31, and then they scored 7 against Texas, which I feel like we can probably give them a pass. Utah State, 25, 35, 48, 49, 22. And in the lower numbers that you have there, those are the games they lost. They gave up like 40. I think the over here looks fantastic at 63.5. Now, full disclosure, I have been burned on my last 2 overplays. Well, not last 2. This past weekend, 2 overplays I love. The Arkansas game, that was just a tough break with turnovers in the red zone and then just finishing just under that total at the end of the game. And I had another one. Who was the other game that I had? I did win my total on Wednesday night, but Tuesday night's total was just, I thought it was going to be a shootout, and it came out and nothing. It was just more of a defensive-minded game, and offense is struggling. But I just think this is a great spot to attack the over. And at 63.5, there are some 64s out there. I know it seems like a lot, but I don't see either team stopping the other team from scoring. So my free play, my freemium, this will be a play for me, will be the over in the San Jose State-Utah State game. I do want to say, if you guys are watching this, I've already put up all my college football plays for Saturday. I will be adding to it. So I have my top 5 plays, and then I'll add in more as I see fit. Last weekend, I put up the top 5, and I think I ended up adding another 3 plays, and we went 6-2 on Saturday, I believe. Don't hold me to it, but I think that's what it was. And then the NFL, same thing. Had another great day in the NFL. You guys can look at the numbers up at the top of the leaderboard at right around 65% and want to add to that. So appreciate you guys watching this. If you guys want to check out some of the plays, head on over to Pickdawgz.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JConnSports. It's CONN. If you guys have any questions about everything, and if I missed one of your messages and didn't respond, you can definitely hit me up on there. Hope you guys win some cash. I'll see you tomorrow.